Adi Dubey, and here my friend Tanishq. And today we are inviting Aniket Bhaiya on our channel. Like, I know you are thinking, who is Aniket Bhaiya? And so for that, you have to watch the full video. Like, Tanishq.
Yeah, so Aniket Bhaiya basically he was in our MIT college and he basically joined a startup instead of going with big tech companies, and he currently works at DevFolio, which is a hackathon platform. So Aniket Bhaiya can introduce himself now.
Thank you, Tanishq and Abhay, for having me here. So basically, I'm Aniket, and I currently work at Devfolio with a community and operations role. So, as correctly mentioned by Tanishq, that Devfolio is a hackathon platform, and we help organize hackathons. So, even if you're a student or even as a company, we help them organize hackathons. So you can just sign up for our platform. If you're a hacker who likes to participate in hackathons, win prizes, scale your project, so you feel free to just sign up on our platform. You'll see a bunch of upcoming hackathons coming up. Feel free to apply. And if you are like an enthusiastic organizer who loves the hustle of organizing a hackathon, then we can help you onboard your hackathon, and we're gonna have like a kick-ass hackathon.
Okay, so first of all, let us talk about the placement. Mostly students have a lot of problem in this. Like whenever they are applying for placement, they don't know like which or topic should they study for and how should they go about for the placement round. So if you can guide the students a bit, and also if you can talk about your journey of how it was the placement was and what all strategies did you follow and how it went.
Okay, so just to set the context, as mentioned by Tanishq, I was in MIT. So I graduated in 2021. And basically, I'll just start off telling my own journey. So basically, when I started off as a first year student, then getting introduced to this whole new college curriculum and seeing people getting into placements and stuff. So that really sparked my interest, and for a very long time, since I think eighth or ninth standard, I was already introduced to programming in school curriculum. So I was already enthusiastic about learning and building stuff. So 9, 10th I did Java, 11, 12 C++, all those as a part of school curriculum. So when I started off my college, I was like a hardcore developer. I would build random apps, or even got into web development, started learning about it, did some internships on those lines. But I think by the mid of third year, till then, looking at how things are being taught at a college level, was like very behind as compared to what the industry requires. Like actual, if you really want to build something, and want to be a great influence, in terms of tech, then honestly, like college curriculum is not the way to go for. Even if they'll interest you with fancy words like AI, ML course, and all these things, it's not enough. They'll give you all theoretical knowledge. There will be some practicals, but not good enough. You can actually build a cool product out of it. So, looking at that, me and obviously some of my friends, we basically started a club in our college, which was not affiliated to anything. It was our own club, and we took upon the responsibility of trying to introduce as much new tech as possible, how people in the industry are actually working, what things you should do in order to get in those lines. So the name of my club was the Script Group, and that is how I think Tanishq knows me. When he was in first year, he attended one of my C workshops. So we did like a very friendly CE workshop for first year students, so that they can understand what exactly programming is all about. Just you can understand C, and then you basically get the idea of what programming is, and then you can choose whatever you want to do. So so when I used to be one of the prime lecturers, if you want to say. I used to take a lot of workshops, game development, and web development on some lines, and we used to do some competitions as well. When the time came for my placement, um, so I applied to some companies from college, but to be honest, like most of them I was not getting shortlisted for because of my CGPA. Even though I was like suitable for the job, I had all the requirements cleared. That
Right.
hey, we need Python developers. I'm pretty good at Python. I can write in JavaScript also, but the fact that I couldn't even get to the interviews and everything was just because my CGPA was a 9.
Right. Right.
So that was kind of a bummer, like initially for me.
Hmm.
But then I really didn't think about it much. So I started applying off campus because I
Right.
knew ki, like if I really want my talent to be showcased, it doesn't have to be defined by what I'm scoring at a university level.
So you mentioned that you applied for this off campus, right? Many students
Yeah.
many students have their head around this. Like they don't know like how exactly should they go for off campus. Maybe they should follow some companies, their website they should follow regularly, or should they like be active on LinkedIn? Like what exactly would you say for those students who are confused? Like how should they go about for off campus placement?
Okay. First of all, like never like this might be something like which a lot of people say, but I actually really mean it. Is that if you're really interested, that you really want to build something, you really want your career to outshine. For some people, their career is like just to get earn money and have a living, which is fine, fair enough. But if you're that kind of a person who really wants to get into the tech industry, be a reason of a change, then you have to do things a bit differently.
Mm-hmm.
So for that, when it comes to placements, I had an offer from a company at college, but I considered it as a backup. I kept it as a backup. I didn't have to immediately get back to them with a yes signed letter or everything, but I kept it as a backup. And meanwhile, I was exploring, and also I got into Portfolio. And even like I had two offer letters in my hand. One was from Portfolio, one was from the company. It was a very easy choice for me that obviously I want to go work for Portfolio. So what I'll suggest here is that placement, if you're here like to learn what specific questions do I need to solve and all, you'll find a million resources. It's very easy to do all of that. Especially if you're in computer science, getting placed is not a big deal. Jitna तुम लोग को pressure लगेगा, it's very easy to get placed. It's so simple. Anyhow, you can make it to any company you want. But if you want to do it differently, treat your placements as a backup. Even if you tried off campus, you gave your 100%, didn't happen, it's fine. Just join whatever company you got into. And it's not like the company you got into is like your final company. You cannot change or not. All right. One
Right.
more tip is to try to avoid companies which have a bond. Like you have to work minimum with 2-3 years or something.
Right. Right.
Because if you're not liking the job, you'll still feel forced to like work for
Exactly.
that much time. Never get into a company which has a bond.
Right.
And luckily many colleges keep it very transparent that this company has a bond of these many years or something. Avoid those companies until like if you're really desperate, then fine, but don't. I'll say avoid it because if you don't like working there, you do not have a option to leave. And
Right.
in turn, you will then start becoming a person who hates their job. Even
Right.
if you get into a good company later on, you'll be the person who hates their job, which no one wants to be.
Right.
So coming to so again, like placements, very easy. You have a million resources online. Just Google anything, you'll find everything. But why you're here for this video is to understand why off-campus placements are important. First, I think I even mentioned this earlier with Abhay and Tanish that when you represent yourself in a campus placement, you are like I say it कि तुम भेड़ बकरी में तुम एक हो. There's so many people around you. Even if you have a worth of like say 20 lakhs per annum or 30 lakhs per annum, if you want to define yourself by your CTC, so even if you're worth 20-30 lakhs, those companies will see अच्छा ये तो इस college के बच्चे हैं. They'll give you some 5-6 lakhs per random offer, which you can you don't really have to take.
Mm-hmm.
When you can easily get 20, 30, by knowing your worth.
Right.
So that is one of the reasons you apply off campus. When you apply off campus, that company knows, okay, this guy or this girl is really like, interested in joining us. Oh, I can see their GitHub, I can see their projects, and first of all, certificates and everything. When you're applying for startups, they didn't, to be completely fair, therefore they didn't even check my resume.
Mm-hmm.
They just had to see, like I was running a YouTube channel earlier for 100 days of code.
Right.
That they saw my GitHub profile with some projects and all. They saw what I was doing with script. Those are things which matter, and not what
Right.
you write in your resume. Resume में कोई भी कुछ भी लिख सकता है.
Right. Right.
How you are representing yourself online is more important than what you're representing yourself in a piece of paper.
Right.
So don't worry about resumes when it comes to startups, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, I mean that is how it works. You apply off campus. They will see, okay, these are your online projects. Oh, this really matches with us, and hey, like let's onboard them. They will have a call with you. They'll treat you as your own entity and not कि अरे ये इस college का interview चल रहा है.
Right.
Why do you want to associate yourself with your college? चलो ठीक है, if you're an IITian or NITian, you are proud of your college and all those things, then you might want to represent yourself from a college. But I don't think it's relevant always.
Right.